And yeah, but I think it's always happening. And for me in particular, like Philip is not necessarily the same way. I either don't take projects or, like if a project isn't something that requires a significant amount of development, I'm like sort of bored by that. So that forces us to do a lot of development all the time.
I'm not actually on the panel, I should be moderating, but I'll just real quick say that one of my strategies is I just don't take repeat projects. Like I try and find like every new project something that we've never done before, and then that kind of keeps it fresh. So I just made a little like eye contract with this guy here in the front row. So even though I said that was the last question, we're going to do one more.
This will be my
question.
My question's on defining user engagement. Rick, you said that projects live after development. You keep working on them. How much of the process is involved in defining what is user engagement for a specific project, and then specifically measuring it, technical problems surrounding that, and then how much of that plays into your design process going forward? That's not quick.
Yeah, really.
He's saying that.
If I'm excited about it, then I think it's going to be exciting for other people, hopefully. But we don't necessarily have metrics to measure that sort of thing. But I'd say people get excited about types of things that we do, and I can't say much more than that.
When we started, and I think this is very similar to what goes on at Firstborn, we didn't care because everything was a campaign mini-site. It's all about the emotional impact of that moment, And you totally hit the nail on the head. I mean, that practice has gone from 0 full-time people to 4 now. We have hired a user experience designer. It was an old employee that went to California before we had an office. Went to Apple, did a bunch of user experience design there, and now heads up a full department. We're very legit now. And he's spending a lot of time wrestling with the user experience design practice. The old traditional waterfall approach of wireframes and sitemap versus now the agile thing. How does it fit in? I mean, it takes up a lot of our time now. It's very, very, way more methodical than it used to be. And same with the analytics. Before it was like, oh, we got a bunch of hits and there's a press thing and we won a line, so that's cool. This has been great. And now it's like, well, the intent to purchase on the Kashi cereal bar is now at 4% because of the search. Like, it's totally different, And so, and it's kind of weird. And we took a totally different path than these guys. We're like, we're going to take a bunch of repeat business and we'll do the serious stuff too, so we can try and do everything. You know what I mean? But that practice has gotten very, very, very legit in our company. It's kind of funny. It's a running joke. This old intern is now like a director. He's better than any of us, and it's changed a lot, and it will continue to change, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the project. Like, it's definitely far away from the waterfall approach. Like, all right, we're gonna do a sitemap, and then we're gonna do IA, and then we're gonna do experience planning, and then we're gonna start designing stuff and skinning stuff, and then we're gonna program, and then we're gonna QA, and then it just, I mean, for some big sites, I think it definitely it makes sense to do that. But other sites, like some of my producers are IA people too on the project. If it's not like a huge project, but it's if it doesn't need real IA, I have 3 producers that have design backgrounds that have been either creative directors or art directors, and I'm like, yeah, dude, you do the IA or experience planning or whatever it is. And in terms of analytics, it's kind of funny. It kind of was born out of working with agents, our agency partners, because we don't have a lot of access to their analytics, their clients' analytics. So I was like, I really want to know, because when I'm in sales meetings, oh, so how well did that do? How many, yeah. It's oh, gift mixer, cool site. How many books did they sell? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. They didn't allow us to have the metrics. And honestly, that's not really a good answer. I started, after the 400th time I gave that answer in a sales presentation, I was like, yeah, that's really not a good answer, So even our proposals, I kind of we upsold this analytics implementation and quarterly review, where we actually, we've only done a couple times, but we put the client site to our, if they use a Google Analytics account, we tie it to our Google Analytics account, knowingly, so we can give them reports, which also gives us access to their data. So I can use it in my presentations to say oh, this site's doing this, and so kind of that's our analytics approach, I guess.
I want to take a minute to thank our